Big T on this Talk Therapy Tuesday. I'm Tanya McLean-Nicholas, licensed marriage family therapist and owner of Renewed Hope Counseling. Today I thought I would talk about communication. It pretty much goes without saying that communication is vital to every relationship because effective communication brings clarity, connection, and closeness in your friendships, your intimate relationships, with your employer, or even your coworkers. So today I want to focus on that part of communication that tends to throw a wrench in more familiar, intimate relationships, and that is the ability to communicate your concerns in a loving way. So in other words, how do I say what I feel, express a need, concern, or expectation in a way that it inspires a desire to take actions that create more closeness rather than resentment or distance, or even without causing emotional injury to someone else? Well, there's a method to the madness. So go ahead and grab your tea or your coffee. I got my tea, whichever you prefer, and let's dig in. Relationships can be a place where we find the most joy and peace and fulfillment, and at the same time be the place where we have the most struggle. And usually it has to do with communicating in a healthy and effective way. And it always seems that the more important, close, or valuable that relationship is, the more we find ourselves being reactive when in communication. I always tell clients when communicating to use I statements, and I give a formula of I feel, when, because, and then ask for what you want, not demand for what you need. This helps the speaker to communicate from a more vulnerable place that focuses on them versus telling someone else what they did wrong, which only breeds blame and shame to the other person. However, this doesn't always work because communication is more than our choice of words. It's verbal, it's nonverbal, it's our tone. There's also sometimes a disconnect between our words and our emotions. You could be having a great day, feel good about yourself and your partner, and your greeting of hello is going to sound and even feel different than if you're having a really crappy day and you don't feel good and you're mad at your partner because maybe they didn't do something you wanted them to do, clean up something. That hello, that goodbye, that good morning is going to sound and feel different. Same words, but communication as a whole is not the same and will not draw the same results. Many times, our communication is driven by our reactivity to a situation. Our body's threat defense system with its fight, fight, or freeze modes, it goes into autopilot when we perceive a threat, we feel angry, or faced with a situation of discomfort. Rarely in communication is reactivity beneficial. We have to intentionally move out of the state of reactivity and into a place where we are able to respond. I call this turning on our cooling system or activating our care system. Our internal care system has a loving, connected presence that brings a calm. And when we're calmer, we can choose a response or initiate communication that is more likely to bring the desired outcome that you're hoping for. So how do we make that shift from reactive, instinctive, emotionally driven reactions or communication to a response or communication that is fueled by wisdom, compassion, and love? Well, here are 4 steps to activating your care system to increase the ability to communicate your needs and concerns in a loving way. First, you need to diffuse the reactivity. The best way to do this is through mindfulness, the ability to be present and in tune with what is happening. Notice what you're feeling prior to using your words. Your body is always going to tell you what's happening before your head does. Notice your heart rate, your body temperature, your breathing. Allow your body to settle by grounding yourself in a soothing manner, like taking a walk, taking deep breaths, speaking positive self-talk. This is going to allow for moments for you to settle your thoughts and your emotions and to keep you out of a reactive state. Another step is self-compassion. Once you step away and allow time for calm, now it's time to explore what you're feeling or needing to communicate. Asking, what am I being triggered by right now? What am I feeling? Or even what am I needing? And then showing yourself the same compassion that a lot of times we're so easy to show someone else. Explore what you would want someone to even say to you. And then from there, offer it to yourself. Tell yourself, I see you, I care about you, I will give you what you need. Those things say to yourself. And now that we have tended to ourselves, turn the compassion towards the other person. This is the opportunity to understand them and possibly to be understood. It's difficult to understand the experience of the other person in a reactive state. So here's a chance for active listening to what they're experiencing too. We open up to the experience and vulnerability of the other person. We allow our hearts to soften to respond to them. Our final step is to keep our values as a priority in our responses. So think about who you want to be or how you want to show up in your relationships. What vows or commitments have you made to yourself, to that person, to your higher power, to God? Maybe the commitment of that I'll be a loving person, that I'm going to be understanding, I'm going to be kind, I'm going to be compassionate. Keeping these things in mind will help you respond in a manner that aligns with your values. Then and only then should you proceed. Now, that's a little prep work that you will use to keep in mind prior to communicating your concerns. So now it's time to move forward in the conversation using what I call the 4 C's. But you'll have to wait until next week for that one. The steps I just gave you will help you prepare for the conversation. But the reality is, when you're in the conversation and concerns are being shared, the defense system can easily get activated. And then what do? Well, you're going to have to stay tuned for that one. But that's it for today. I hope that you enjoy your tea with tea on this Talk Therapy Tuesday. I'm Tanya McLean Nicholas, and I hope that you have an amazing day.